I did a Nuzlocke challenge on Pokemon Fire Red, and this is how it went. There are 2 basic rules. Number 1, you can only catch the first Pokemon you see per route. 2, if a Pokemon faints, it dies. I have an extra rule for this run, and that is the Dupes Clause. This means I can only have one of each species, and this includes evolutionary families. Let's begin. So after leaving my home and attempting to enter the grass, Professor Oak pops out and takes me to his lab to choose my first Pokemon. I normally default to choosing my favourite, Bulbasaur, but to make things interesting, I let fate choose my starter. I roll the dice and it lands on Squirtle. I name him Claude and we set off for Viridian City. When I delivered Oak's parcel, I'd get some balls and catch my first Pokemon, Lars the Pidgey. I head west to Route 22 and catch Jojo the Mankey. Once I get to Pewter, I grind for a bit before taking on Brock. I was nervous since his Pokemon are level 12 and 14 and mine have just reached level 10. But Claude and Jojo managed to beat him without trouble, earning my first badge. After looking around Pewter for a bit, I head to Mount Moon, but not before getting the running shoes. On Route 3, I catch a Spearow and name him Gimli, and spend all my money on a Magikarp that I name Cecilia. I catch a Zubat at Mount Moon and name her Nadja. Both Cecilia and Nadja are kinda useless for now. I'll level them later. Getting to the end of Mount Moon, I have a little trouble with Super Nerd Miguel, the guy who is guarding these fossils, mostly because of his coughing and Grimer, since they keep poisoning me. This is kind of a recurring thing in my run. But I managed to squeak by. I flipped a coin to determine which fossil I would get and landed on heads, so I chose the dome fossil, and I got the hell out of there. A couple of karate guys teach Claude and Jojo some sweet punching and kicking moves, and then we finally arrive in Cerulean. I knew I was going to have to face my rival and his hacked Pidgeotto, so I did some extensive grinding, to at least make Nadja and Cecilia adequate. Eventually I'm able to face Green and we wipe the floor with him. I make my way across the Nugget Bridge, I decline an offer to join Team Rocket, and catch Thimble the Oddish on Route 25. After helping Bill out of his fursuit, I am ready to leave this town. Can we talk about how weird Cerulean City is? There is a shop that sells bikes for $1 million, or a voucher you can get from the guy in the next town. And the only way out is to cut down a tiny tree. And you can't even do that without getting a gym badge. Or you could cut through an active crime scene. These people are traumatized. And you just want me to be like, sorry, just need to just scooch through. Sorry, I hope they catch the guy. Sorry. And the guy who did it is just standing in the backyard. What are the cops doing? Anyway, stay tuned for part 2.